Hi there, welcome to your session. We'll be using the resistance band today, starting lying down on our backs with the knees bent and the feet flat. So you can place a small cushion underneath your head if you'd like to, and then we'll bring the arms up to the ceiling holding the resistance band. Hold the resistance band so that your hands are as wide as your two collarbones, gently wrapping the fingers around, just making sure that the palms of the hands, the fists are relaxed as possible. And then let the arm bones be very heavy in the backs of your shoulders. And then let your head, your pelvis and your feet release so that they feel heavy and supported by the ground. And then on the following exhale that you take, go ahead and let the arms start to go over the top of your head. Inhaling as the arms float back up towards the ceiling. Exhaling as you send them back over the top of the head again. The intention that the arms are able to move, staying long, and that the back of the body remains really heavy. As the arms are going overhead, we're not letting the front ribs go with us, so the front ribs staying connected towards the back ribs. And the arms are moving as wide as the collarbones stay wide. And then the next time that the arms float back open over the top of the chest, we'll just go ahead and stay here for a minute. And then as you breathe out, take a little pull on your resistance band. So you're just increasing that elastic tension. And then rather than letting go and just letting it ping, just inhale slowly as it returns back to rest. Exhaling to pull. Inhaling back in. I'm using a medium resistance band, so you might find that when you pull, if you're not using a medium band, then you might be making that go a little bit wider. Again, be mindful that we're not pulling all the way to two straight arms onto the floor next to us, so there's just a widening sensation, but arms not on the floor. One more time as you pull here. And this time when you increase the elastic of your band, I do want you to start to let your elbows bend. So we'll pull out to the side and then the elbows are going to draw down. So your band should just be hovering above your chest. Inhale back up towards the ceiling again. Exhale, pull wide. So collarbones draw wide, elbows pull wide. Then the band comes down. Inhale back up again. Feel how the front of the chest opens, the backs of the shoulders feel a little bit more active. See if the arms can be doing the same thing so that you feel equal sense of work and balance, right and left and right. And we'll keep going like this, just twice more in the same way. And then as the arms float back up towards the ceiling, you've released the tension from your resistance band, keeping your pelvis just feeling very heavy, so it's not arching, it's not flat, it's just in its natural curve. Float the right leg up into a tabletop, followed by the left leg, bringing your knees and your feet together. And then start to find the same movement. So elbows drawing down towards the floor. Inhale back up. Exhale, draw back down again. This time as you start to draw the band apart and the elbows towards the floor, reach your right leg up towards the ceiling and then fold back into tabletop as the arms come back up. Change to your left side, drawing down and then coming back up again. Inhaling up, exhaling to pull on the band. If it feels available in the backs of the legs next time, start to introduce the two legs long. If it feels too much, stay with the single leg variation. 2 more times. make the next one your last one. And then as you come all the way in, wrap the band around the fronts of the shins and just give your knees a lovely hug in, releasing off the lower back, letting the hands not be holding onto the band for a minute. And then we're going to place the feet to the floor, one then the other, and then turn to your side. You might want a block now to pop underneath your head. This will just enable your head to sit in line with the rest of your body. So block under the head. We're going to do side lying work with the resistance band supporting the leg. So top foot comes into your resistance band. And then what we want to have is tension in the resistance band. So you can feel the leg is active. The bottom leg is going to be bent. And then it's going to be our top hand, top arm that holds onto the band. So start by bringing your heel in line with the back of your head. And then the back of your head is in line with your sacrum. So just sort of imagining you're lying on your side against a wall. And then the top leg is going to come up. And then the top leg is going to come down. So your two front hips, 3 and 9 of your clock, facing towards your screen. The underside of your ribs are staying nice and light. So if your leg is lifting and your ribs are going down into the floor like this, we know we've lost that sort of core control on our side. So keep your side waist nice and light. Let the inner thigh lengthen as the leg comes up, and then reach the inner blade of your foot into the resistance band as you come back down. The leg now stays halfway. Think about keeping it in line with your top hip, and then kick the leg forward, point the foot as you kick the leg back. So we go forward, flexing the foot, back as we point the foot. And you might not go all the way with your point, but that's okay. Just feel the intention of the ball of the foot pressing into the resistance band, and that opening of the foot, how it then creates more of the opening through the front of the hip, feeling the energy in the back of your thigh as you kick back. Next time the leg's behind you, keep it that way. And then from here, we're going to lower down and then come back up. Keep that bottom bent leg just releasing into the floor. 2 more. 1 more. And then we're going to go a little bit more rapid. So teeny tiny now movements, still under control, for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then bend the knee in, remove that from the band and just take a moment, let it release. Also use that as an opportunity just to give the hand a wiggle. So bringing your block now to the other side of your mat. Obviously you're welcome to roll away from your screen. And then when you come down onto your side, let's go ahead and place the opposite foot into the resistance band. Again, starting with tensioning into your band. So you've got your straight leg, the ball of the foot, the arch of the foot and the toes are in your band. The heel is free. The top arm is straight, holding the resistance band. The bottom arm is bent. And then your heel starts in line with the back of your head. And the front of the hip in this position should stay open. So when you look down, there aren't any creases there. And then from here, we lengthen the inner thigh, bringing the leg up. Inner blade of the foot reaches into the band, bringing it back down. Again, visualize the back of you and how the back of you could be in line with a wall. Let your heel just brush up the wall and then back down the wall. So I want you to think about keeping your leg in parallel. So front hip, kneecap and ankle are facing your screen. This is what it would look like if you weren't. Your leg would go much higher, but you'd go into external rotation. So make sure that your ankle bone is pointing up towards the ceiling rather than behind you. So now let's have the leg go up halfway. So height of the top hip, flexing the foot, come forward, point the foot, kicking back. That top arm is just resting, but feel how the elbow will naturally bend. So that's okay. Your elbow is going to bend a little bit as the leg is coming forward, but we're just making sure that the shoulders stay stacked one on top of the other. Next time the straight leg is behind us, we'll keep it there. And then we'll lower the straight leg down. So you're keeping energy now in the back of your leg. The ball of the foot's reaching into the resistance band. Keep noticing the big toe side of that foot. Front ribs really soft. And then we'll go for our rapid movement. So again, just teeny tiny. It's like a bouncing movement for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Fold the knee and rest. Well done. We're going to come into sitting now. So leaving your block there for a minute, you can just push yourself up. And then we're going to take the band away from the foot for a sec. We're going to come and sit on this block. So the block is going to enable us to sit comfortably up, nice and tall for a little while. So we're going to have the band now hooked around the 2 feet. So we're going into a seated row. So band is around the 2 feet and you're just sliding your legs out, but being very mindful that our intention is to be on the sit bones. So we're not here. That's what I see quite often is we're sort of, the legs are straight, but we're sitting here. So make sure that they're in a place for you where you're upright, and we'll all be slightly different with that, but that's important. Ribs are over pelvis, head is on top of the spine. And then we're going to come and wrap our band. So little cross, right hand on your right, left hand on your left. The feet are gently flexed. Excuse me, sorry for that. So now our 2 elbows are going to draw back. And then we're coming into our seated upright row. So think of your collarbones drawing apart as the elbows are drawing apart. We're going to breathe out as we go into the row. So as we breathe out, it's encouraging the front ribs to stay really soft. So we're not kind of going into this overly arched back. We're just staying in the natural curves of the spine. Keep the elbows high. So you can feel how there's activity that stays there in the arms and in the upper back. Nice and relaxed through the head, the jaw. And we'll just do this one more time. And then this time we'll make it just the right side. So let your right elbow draw back and then rotate around with it. So your ribs are going around with you. Left ribs coming forward, right ribs have rotated back. Come back from your resistance band. So give in to the band. It brings you back. Left elbow. And then you're looking around with it again, looking over to your left. And then coming back through the middle. Keep going. Inhaling, exhaling. Again, keep going and be mindful of the body's intentions. So are you leaning back as you're pulling on the band? If you are, keep your front ribs forward. Head still very much on top of the spine. Wrist joints are staying open here as well. So notice if there's a little bend starting in your wrist joints, can you keep that nice and solid? Imagine you had a little splint on your wrist so that it couldn't move. Next time you're going around to your left side, let it be your last one. And then coming all the way back to your starting position. And then we're going to come off of our block. So you can just leave the band around your feet. Come off your block and pop your block to one side. The band stays around the feet, but we're just going to uncross it. So we're going into the roll down. So holding the band now a little closer towards the feet, so there should be quite a lot of resistance on your band. Your ankles and the inner blades of your feet are together. The feet are in your band. And then start to push your feet into your resistance band, and you'll start to roll off of your 2 sitting bones. So as you're rolling back, keep lengthening your tailbone along the mat. The feet are reaching into your band. And then the ribs, the shoulders, the back of the head can release onto the floor. Start to find this energy in the arms. So feel like the arms start to get carried a little bit forward. The head can follow. And then as you breathe out, think of each rib at the back pushing back into the floor as you come up. Slowly, 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 until you come all the way up, back into sitting, and then just soften off the knees if you need to. And then we go again. Feet reach, pelvis rolls, tailbone lengthens, inner thighs are together, inner feet are together, arms are in the sockets, shoulders are heavy, releasing through the back of the head. Arms, eye gaze, lower front ribs. You can hear that I am to take a few breaths out. So you quite often will meet these sticky points in your spine when you're rolling down. They're the parts sometimes that we get stuck in when we're rolling up. They're the parts sometimes we deviate around. So use the band in a way where you can take time to move through those segments of the spine. We all have them. I do as well. So we get the band really working for us. All the way back up. We'll keep going like this just 2 more times. The feet reaching into the band, the tailbone lengthening towards the feet, the body and the head going in the opposite direction. Think of always that opposing energy between the head and the tailbone. And then we'll make the next one our last one. Connecting the feet into something to roll down. Next time we come up into sitting, we'll pause when we get there. All the way up. And then soften the knees, release the band from the feet. So the next portion of the session we're going to do in high kneeling. So for those of you at home who might not be able to kneel, or you might not be able to go into high kneeling, you can do exactly the same sitting on a chair. And then instead of having the band underneath the knee, you'd have the band underneath the foot instead. So know that's a place that you can go to if you need to. And it's better to do that, obviously, than compromising any discomfort through the knee. So coming to the end of your resistance band, you're going to place your left knee under your band. And then you're going to hold on with your right arm. Left hand is then going to come just down by your side. So from there, we're going to start to draw the right elbow out to the side of us. So from here, right elbow goes out. And then the band comes back across. Think about now coming across your body just with your arm. So the hand comes across towards the opposite left hip. Left arm is down by your side. So right collarbone reaches out, right elbow reaches out. We go out and up. And then come back down. Notice how the top of the right shoulder stays very soft. So we're not hiking up. We're keeping the integrity of the shoulder. And then we come back down. So I already know where we're going next. I've given myself way too much resistance. So you want your band to stay fairly soft, because when we start to draw up this time, now we're going to draw out. So now rotate the whole arm in the shoulder. So the inner arm now is facing your screen, and then now rotate it back so your inner arm is facing away from your screen, and then you bring it back in. So you can think of the action of a drawing of a sword. So you bring the sword across and you pop it in its sheath, you draw it out, and then you rotate, and then you go and, well, we'd go and then yield that, yield or wield, anyway, we would start to use that sword. So we're going to draw out, rotate, and then feel how the knee can press into the resistance band, and then we reach up towards the ceiling. Again, top of the shoulder stays soft, rotate in, bring the band back across. And we're just going to smooth that out now. So we go internal rotation, and then we go external rotation, and then we draw out. We can start to look up, and then as we bring it back in, we can look across. So notice how you might start to rotate a little bit now. That's okay, let the rotation happen. So we rotate in, we rotate up to the ceiling, rotate in again towards the left hip. Last one. And then as you come all the way back, relax, let's switch over to the other side. So again, hold the band towards the end. This time it comes underneath your opposite right knee. And then we're going to hold on with the left hand. Again, start with a little bit of slack in the band. So when you first start, there isn't really any resistance on it, knowing where we're going. So again, ribs over pelvis, head on top of spine. We start to draw out and then come back. So it's really common, very normal that we don't have the same strength, and we sometimes don't have the same mobility on the two sides of our body. So you can accommodate with the resistance band where you need to for that. So if this is the side of you where you know that you're not as strong, then you will just change the resistance. So now let's start to add in. So we're going to come across, rotate out, the right knee presses down, and then we come back across again. Again, thinking of that sort of drawing of the sword action. Really feel the external rotation and the internal rotation. So we're working all of the muscles around the shoulder and the upper back. Now we go to the full range. So we reach up and then draw back in and across. Then we might start to add in looking in the direction that we're rotating, looking up, because that's how we would move. In our day-to-day, we'd always rotate. Our eyes would always be looking in the direction that we're moving in. And we'll keep going like this 2 more times. And then last one. And then as we bring that arm all the way down, we're going to come and take this away from the knee. So again, staying in high kneeling, but again, you might be in a chair as an option. We're going to hold the band, palms facing up to the ceiling, holding it about as wide as the collarbones are, so really like you did when you were lying down on your back. This time, keeping your elbows quite close towards your rib cage. Start to draw your band apart. So we're going to pull on the band, the forearms and the wrists will move away from the body. Inhale back in. Keep your right collarbone reaching right, your left collarbone reaching left. Notice any tendencies of your pelvis to either drift forwards or backwards of your thighs. So really find the backs of your thighs. Imagine that they're gently coming forward towards the fronts of your thighs. The shin bones can feel heavy as if they wanted to press down into the floor. Obviously they aren't going to, but feel that intention. Exhaling as you pull wide. Inhaling as you come in. Again, elbows staying close towards your body. And we'll do this 2 more times in the same way. Last one. And then relax the arms. Turn the palms now so that they're facing away from you and give yourself more of the band. So again, it wants to start fairly loose. The 2 arms are then going to come forward. So we've got 2 straight arms. Palms of the hands are facing downwards towards your mat. We're going to float the 2 arms then directly up and over the top of the head. And then we're going to come back down again. Relaxing the bands, pulling wide, coming forward. Now shine the backs of your armpits forward. Tops of the shoulders stay very, very soft. Come all the way back down. So it's really important, again, when we're moving, that the shoulders don't elevate up towards the ears. So that makes us really dominant in the upper part of the shoulder, which can be where a lot of us feel tension anyway. But this enables the back of the armpit coming forward, enables the shoulder blade to help elevate the arm. So one more, coming up, back of the armpit. And then all the way back down. So this time we add in, again, if you've got any mobility issues in the shoulder, you may stay here. If it feels pretty good, then you pull on the band and you take it behind you. So we come all the way up and over the top of the head, all the way down, and then we release the band. So we pull, forward, up, pull, go back, up, forward, and then down. And then we just make that really smooth, like a constant flow of movement. So there are no jagged edges, really, really smooth. Inhaling, exhaling, inhaling, exhaling. One more time. This time we pause when the band comes up to the ceiling, and then we take a little side bend over to the right. The left arm pulls up and the right arm pulls down. Let your left shin bone push into the floor a little more. Reach up through your left arm, through the top of your head, side bending over to your left. Right arm pulls up, left arm pulls down. Right shin bone pushes. Reach up through the right arm and the head. One more time in either direction. Last one over to your left. And then now bring the arms all the way down, pop your band down, and then just come and rise to stand or get out of your chair if you are modifying it. And then just taking a little shake out of the hands, of the arms, of the legs, and then just letting yourself settle into your feet. And just take a moment now you're standing and feel how the upper part of your body is. So is there real ease there in the upper body? Do you feel more sense of length through your spine? Do you feel a bit more open through the front of your chest? And then just simply float the arms to the ceiling, bring them back down. Notice that ease as well. We've done lots of work on the shoulders. So this is a great session to do really regularly if you can. So if you want to work on mobility in your shoulder, just feeling more upright, more lengthened, it's really good. And as usual, if you do a lot of driving or you spend a lot of time on your phone or your desk, it's great as well. So I hope you enjoyed it. Have a great day, and then I'll see you in our next session together.